sign up right here. Yeah, thank you to you both. Okay, for those of you who have no idea who I am, my name is Sydney O'Hare. I'm a fourth generation Veroite. My great grandfather moved here about 100 years ago, maybe more. I went to Sandwich School forever, it felt like. And then I went to the University of Florida. I got a degree in political science and sustainability studies. And then I was an outdoor guide for a little bit. And then I went to Chicago and got my master's at DePaul in cinema directing. I moved back home to create my first feature film. I was just supposed to take a little pit stop back home, and then the pandemic happened. And so I was back home for almost 3 years. And I'm so happy that I was actually forced to stay, because it allowed me to become really involved with this project. And I just really am very passionate about it, as you will soon see. And I believe this is something that we really need in this community. And I think the emotional heartstrings I like to pull is so many of us, you know, we grew up here and we want to come back home, but there's nothing for us to do. And there's no place for us to go and feel like we really belong as younger people. And I know my mom wants to see and hang out with my grandkids, and I know so many other people in this room do as well. And it's really hard, because I think some of the best and brightest who grew up in Vero Beach never come back for that reason. So I think this is an amazing opportunity to completely do a 180 on that. So let's hope that happens. So a history of Three Corners. It was a power plant, as we all know. The last time it generated electricity was in 2014. Now we're powered by FPL, because Vero Beach residents complained that it was very expensive to pay for the electric that was generated from this plant. So how did we get here? So I think that says a lot. Mid-2019, City Council was debating which architectural firm to go with to plan what could be done with this property. It was down to 2 or 3, and council was pretty split, but they were convinced to go with DPZ Co-Design, and that is run by Andres Duani and his partner. And it's an extremely successful firm. They develop Windsor, Seaside, a lot of very, very popular and successful urban projects. And many consider Andres Duani to be one of the most influential urban planners dead or alive. So it's a pretty big deal that he decided to take this project on. I know Andres can be a bit polarizing and sometimes a little unlikable, but he is a genius. So we are very fortunate that City Council decided to go with DPZ. So then at the end of 2019, DPZ came to Vero and they hosted charrettes. Some of you may or may not have attended them. There were one at Walking Tree, one at the church, the courthouse. They were all over the place. And pretty much what Andres just wanted to hear what the people wanted. What do you want at Three Corners? And so they came back and made this project. I'm having a brain fart, I'm so sorry. They created the plan, and so this is a little bit about their practice and some awards that they won. So then at the beginning of 2020, they presented this standing ovation plan at the First Presbyterian Church. It was a standing ovation plan because as soon as Andres was finished, everyone stood up and gave a standing ovation. And it was a really powerful moment in the community. I don't know if I've ever felt more energized to be a Vero Beach native and resident than in that moment. It was, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It really was amazing. And then the pandemic happened. And momentum really shifted at that time. when we were able to meet again, the steering committee shifted, 5 seats opened up, city council recused themselves after me and some of my friends went to enough city council meetings involving them enough. And there was an application process, so I was part of the steering committee for pretty much all of 2021, which is why I know a good bit about this project. So then the steering committee proposed a plan to city council, and it was approved overwhelmingly, 4-1. The only no vote came from Bob McCabe, who is running for city council. So just throwing that out there. So now let's talk about the plan itself. So here is the easiest way, I think, just to break it down. And I'm literally going to go number by number because I've heard a lot of people want to know literally exactly what this plan entails. So number 1, let me try to use my mouse here. Number 1 is over here. That's going to be the new FDL substation. Number 2 is the hotel conference center that's all the way over here. And that's going to be where Big Blue currently is. Many of us on the steering committee are huge proponents to keep Big Blue. And we want to keep Big Blue for a lot of reasons. One, there's a lot of history with it. For those of us who grew up here, it's a landmark. And for us, it's something that oddly is near and dear to our hearts. 2, it's environmentally friendly. It's much more environmentally friendly than completely scrapping it and starting over. 3, it's very in vogue right now to retrofit old industrial properties. It's been extremely successful at Savannah's riverfront. If you've ever been there or seen pictures, they've done projects in Charleston, Seattle, you name it. It's very popular these days in the development world. And also, if you were to take down Big Blue, then you would lose the height that Big Blue currently has. You would only be able to build up 3 stories. So I'm just picturing myself drinking a Paloma on the rooftop bar restaurant of Big Blue, staring at the ocean and the river as the sun's setting, and I can't think of anything better. So I think we should keep Big Blue. I think it's great. Moving on, parking, very important. Number 3, right here. 4 boulevard entrances, which is right here. So this would be, these red dots, this would be a way you would access. 5, youth sailing, which is over here. 6, the harbor, of course. We're going to hopefully have, new boat slips for people to, either just come for the day, maybe have a few slips that you can rent overnight. That all of this remains to be seen. Number 7, a performance stage. That's hard for me to find the numbers.
Actually, 31.
Yes, our performance stage that would be attached to the current number 31, the big water tanks that currently sit there, and that they want to become or could become a visual performing arts center. There's talk of using the tank itself to project art onto and have it be an alternating artistic art installation throughout the year with different themes, different artists. Again, that's a new art form that's really gaining traction. 8, small boat launch, which is right over here next to youth sailing. I don't imagine that would be for bigger boats. I think that's going to be more for kayaks and sailboats, smaller sailboats, but again, remains to be seen. Number 9, conference center lobby, that's right here. That would be attached to Big Blue or whatever becomes the Big Blue. 10, meeting hall, which is over here on the corner. This could be the new city hall, and it would look a lot cooler than the one we have now, for sure. 11, Market Row, that's right here. And this is going to be where various small businesses can rent out these little stores and sell whatever they want. It could, here they have 5, but these all could be divided differently and can incorporate many different businesses. Number 12, the hotel. So in this plan right now, it would be added onto the front of Big Blue here, and that's right here. 14, retail, it's right here. Oh, I skipped one of the most important ones, 13, restaurant. So right here is kind of the retail restaurant waterfront corner, which I think is arguably one of the most attractive things about what this project could become. 15, the marina right here. 16, sailboat platform. This is where youth sailing would keep all their sailboats. 17, fishing pier right here, where people could come and fish. 18, hotel cottages right here, so different hotel rooms in addition to what you see here with number 12. It would be more of an intimate experience for people. 19, splash fountain, which, you know, would be shallow and probably something, you know, coming out of the middle of it, and it would be shallow on the edges so that kids could play in it. 20, hotel outdoor recreation, right here. 21, plaza/small event stage.
Down by the restaurants.
Down by the restaurants, thank you. 22, field, the world's biggest field. No, I'm just kidding, but it's really big. It's really, I mean, if you look at 22 compared to the north side of the property here where the splash fountain is, it's just as big as that entire area, so pretty cool. 23, Central Park, next to the splash fountain here. 24, outdoor dining and entertainment over here. 25, small boat room, we already talked about that. 26, Park Drive, right here. That would just go, you know, a road that would go along the end, and that would be for handicap access and things like that. 27, recreation/plaza over here. And they put that there, but if you look, it's shaped a lot like a skate park. So I'm hoping it becomes a skate park, personally. I think it would be an amazing thing to bring to Vero, and something that young people would absolutely love to do. 28, bait shop over here. 29, snack shack/bike trailhead. Right over here. So this road would also be a bike trail as well. 30, environmental research center, right here next to youth sailing. 31, visual/performing arts center, we already talked about that. That was the tank using the visual art. 32, another park. Right here. That would be right along the waterfront here next to youth sailing. 33, general commercial. Across the street.
That's Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I hope a lot of people want it to be a Trader Joe's. So
It's not big enough.
it's not big enough, but we can dream. 34, live oaks and sable palms. So just all right here along the channel there. 35, oh wait, 35, there it is in here, skate park. Oh, it's right here, just kidding. This would be something else. But here's a skate park. Under the bridge. Under the bridge, you'd have no idea. For those who are like, I don't like skateboarding, which, you know, it's in the Olympics stuff. I mean, it's pretty legit. 36, promenade. By the marina. Yes, promenade, that's a promenade. 37, lawn/green. Another lawn space right here. So the tank, the north tank would be taken out. Okay, the dotted line is a bike trail. Sweet, thank you for really sticking with me through that. So, a question that comes up a lot, can a developer or city council change the approved master concept plan or community plan? No, in short. You can find this on the City of Vero Beach website. Pretty much if a developer or city council themselves wants to substantially deviate from this plan, the citizens of Vero Beach would have to reapprove it. It would create a whole new reapproval and voting process. So the short answer is no. So in order to make Three Corners a reality, we need to vote yes on the first referendum and no on the last. So I think I'll start with why no on the last. So here is the referendum itself. It's a sneaky referendum that was added right before the ballots were printed pretty much. And it's a two-part referendum. So the first part, it says pretty much, are you against the expansion of the Boat Basin Park of the South Marina Dry Storage over by Riverside Park? That's the first part. The second part is, and also, adding to listed properties a further restriction on any future structures being added thereto of anything greater than 500 total square feet, which is a little bigger than a two-car garage. So if any city property wanted to add a shade structure or more bathrooms or you name it, anything bigger than 500 square feet, then it would trigger a new referendum, and then everyone would have to vote on it again. It would be an insane amount of red tape and bureaucracy. Just absolutely insane. We hire and we hire. We vote for city council members to represent us, and then we can also go and make our voices heard. So that's their job. That's what we ask them to do. So I think this is just really, really sneaky that they snuck the second part in. And it is actually going to a judge, and we will know on election day, and maybe completely tossed out. It's so sneaky. And just confusing with the verbiage that they decided to use. So that's why we say vote no, because Three Corners is a city property, so you would cancel effectively your vote for a yes for Three Corners. So here is what we want you to vote yes on if you want to see Three Corners happen. Pretty much the three things I tell people to remember, and Kate helped me come up with this, is the 3 R's: recreation, restaurant, retail. Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory that we would want to vote yes on this. There are 5 city council candidates. 4 of them are here this evening. Tracy Lockwood Zidans, Taylor Dingle, Linda Moore, and John Carroll are all here tonight. And also, Honey Menus, they all support the vision. So, if you want to see this happen, these are the 5 people to look for on your ballot. So, pretty much an ideal situation, the first passes, the last doesn't. We have the 3 open seats in City Council filled by people who are supportive of the vision, and then we have an automatic majority for Three Corners as the project moves forward. Bad, it doesn't pass. We have to wait until the next major election to re-vote on a referendum, if the referendum is even put on the ballot again. So that's 2024, and we would lose so much momentum and so much hard work. So many people have given so much of their time and energy to see this through, and it would be a real shame if it all came down to this, and we'd have to wait another 2 years to maybe get another shot at this. Why is it so important? Again, this could change Vero forever and impact future generations. And I think what a lot of people forget to think about is that we're talking 10 years from now that maybe I could be having a Paloma on the rooftop of Big Blue. I'll probably have a small child. You know, my life's gonna be very different. All of our lives are gonna be very different. And I think people forget about that this really isn't about us. It's about the people who are coming after us. And it's gonna create so much community, just organic, natural community engagement, better for our economy. It will stimulate every small business around it, within it. The city would also be generating revenue from the developer, paying the lease on the land, among other things. And it's 33 acres, which is essentially 30 football fields. That's a lot of football fields. It's huge. So there's literally room for anyone and everything, and all different demographics and age ranges, and It's just really, because he's just so spectacular. And there's so much green space. I think a lot of people are like, there's no green space. It's 70% green space. 70% of 30 football fields is 21 football fields. So, you know, if someone says that, you should tell them. Oh wait, we're not there yet. Recreation, fishing pier, skate park, entertainment. Actually, something that's very, very exciting. Jazz at Lincoln Center wants to have a satellite theater, like concert theater in Big Blue, which is insane because Jazz at Lincoln Center is the premier jazz institute in the world. If you've ever been in New York City, it is an incredible, incredible building. It incorporates three different theaters and stages, and there's a jazz club in it. It's just one of the coolest things that you, I think, just experiencing American music that you really can experience. So pretty epic that they are very, very interested in coming here and creating a satellite little operation. And then, of course, education, youth sailing, environmental protection, teaching kids music. I mean, there's just, again, there's room for everything. So, next steps. What if the referendum doesn't pass? That would just be a real bummer. The long and short of it. I don't think we really need to get into how sad that would be, but that would be me on election day, just flushing myself down the toilet if it doesn't pass. But let's say it is a yes. We do get the first referendum passed. The last one is thrown out. It doesn't pass. Yay, we're moving forward. All the things are happening. We're so excited. You get excited, and you get excited, and you get excited. Just like Oprah says. And then we have the ability then to negotiate in earnest with the developer in good faith that they want to follow the master plan that we as a community have developed and approved. So really, all this does is open up the dialogue. It doesn't mean that literally a construction trucks are going to drive in onto the power plant property and it's going to start. That's much farther down the road. The city still has the entire control as to what direction this is going to go in. There may be things that the city and the voters are going to have to compromise on. Again, all of that remains to be seen, but if it deviates substantially, like, no, we don't want to do restaurants on the waterfront. That's an automatic no, we're not interested. You know, we don't want to have 70% green space, or we don't want to have a central park and all this. Well, no, then you're not even really going to be considered as a developer. And if ultimately we can't find a developer that isn't interested in going along with this plan that we created, then we try another option. I don't think that will be the case. I think developers are going to be really interested in this. Actually, City Council has already put out a request for ideas, an RFI. They've already gotten interest, but I think the big hitter developers, they're very hesitant to even start this process because the referendum hasn't passed. There's nothing that they can do, and it's all still at a standstill as it stands now. So, this could be you at City Hall, making your voices heard if everything goes our way, because then comes even more community engagement. And also, City Council is going to do an engineering analysis of Big Blue and the tanks and just are these things really possible? Then City Council, they will need an amendment to change the land use policies. They're going to do a request for proposals, an RFP, and then perhaps an RFQ, which is request for quotes, and hopefully enter an agreement with the developer to get this project started. Really, if you take away anything from this project aside from what Three Corners could be in this plan, is that it's really important to get involved with local politics. I think it's really easy, extremely easy, to be jaded by all things politics right now, today. But here in this town, you really, really can make a difference. And I didn't believe that until I started going to every single city council meeting that talked about Three Corners or in some sort of association with Three Corners. Next thing I knew, I was on the steering committee, and so was Chloe, and we were really making our voices heard. We were part of the leadership, and they really listened to us. It was amazing. City council listened to every word we said, and I know they will do that with you all. You really do have a voice here, and I really encourage everyone to use it as we move forward in this process. If you think, you know, the restaurant should be this way, or the park should be that way, or Big Blue should be this, go to city council, make your voice heard, tell them. You can even just email city council and they will read it to everyone during the meeting. So, something to think about. Okay. Now I'm going to show this little commercial that I made. Make sure my screen, oh, it's not on. Just kidding, give me a second. I made this commercial, it's just 30 seconds, just to advertise and promote Three Corners.
The Three Corners property has something for everyone. Imagine riverside restaurants, recreation, and retail. But most of all, it can be a place for all of us to come together as a community, to inspire, educate, and engage future generations. To be a part of something all Veroites deserve. Vote yes on the first referendum, which will allow Three Corners to come to life. And vote no on the last, which will allow the project to move forward without delay and policy hurdles. Visit letstalkvero.com to learn more.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of my presentation. Again, spread the word. Tell all your city resident friends to vote. There are 17,000 city residents. 12,000 of them are registered to vote, and less than 6,000 on average vote in midterm elections. So literally every single vote counts. So spread the word. You can write your email over here if you're interested in getting email updates with what's going on. And if you'd like to get more involved, please talk to me. And that's pretty much it. We can open it up to a Q&A now if anyone has any questions.
Very well done. Really well done. I wish you could be a drone over the whole city and everybody just looked up and saw.
Like a big blimp or something.
So informative, so just precise.
Great presentation. Like you, I'm fourth generation Vero Beach. Like you, I ran away and came back. So being born and raised here and then having lived in Los Angeles and New Jersey, all I think about is parking. And I noticed on there's one section for parking. I think it was section 3. So my question is, any idea if that's going to be